Hey guys, what's going on? West Coast Roller here. Just doing another vlog and let's see what's going on. What's new? What's new? What's new? I picked up some work today for this month and I'm pretty stoked about that. So I'm going to be a driver helper for UPS delivering packages. So that's really cool. I did this gig last winter, and except I wasn't a helper, I was a driver, and really liked it a lot. Busted my ass, worked my ass off, but it was cool. I met a lot of cool people, and it was also a seasonal position, and put a little extra cash in my pocket, so that was cool. But so I'll be out there doing that again from starting probably next week through the end of the month, end of December, and then I'll be finished. So yeah, got that should hopefully pay for my expenses this month. Hopefully we'll get some overtime in, and it's on call um, every day, or at least you could work all the way up until Christmas Eve, and usually you'll work late Christmas Eve. Um, so yeah, that should be good. And let's see. I guess well, I guess I'll just talk a little bit about kind of my thinking around work and employment in living this lifestyle, being mobile, and this is it's a pretty big this is a pretty big topic. It can go in a multitude of many different directions. Depending on your personal situation. Personal situation meaning if you have zero income, if you have some income, or you have some savings, you have some investments, you have some income. So, like you're looking for work to supplement current income that you have. There's just so many different ways that you can go about it. Um, some of my thinking right now is to do a lot of seasonal type of work, and with my background, I can do a lot of that stuff. My background is in construction maintenance. I have my Class A truck driver's license. I can drive truck. Um, I have considered going into trucking, but it's just not really a lifestyle that I don't know. I don't know yet. It has advantages to it. It has disadvantages to it. Just like a lot of different careers. Trucking is cool because it gives you it allows you some freedom to travel, and then also you also have some periods where you're off and you're not working um, day to day every single day, whatever. You can have some times when you're when you can take a month off or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of seasonal work. There's a lot of seasonal opportunities out there, depending on your financial situation. Um, so there's but that's like I say, with this lifestyle, depending if you're going to be out, depends on how much boondocking you're going to be doing versus like paid camping. So like staying at an RV park. In the wintertime, RV park rates can range anywhere from, I mean, I've seen as low as $350 a month, all the way up to about $450 a month, which is what I'm paying right now for full hookups. And then in the summer months, the rates go up. So if you have absolutely no debt, and other than your basic expenses you have every month, if you're staying at a campsite, a paid campsite, and you're working, your bills could, they'll vary, but mine, would be somewhere, if I'm staying at a campground every night, full hookups type of deal. My bills would probably be food, everything. Total monthly bills would probably be around eight to 850 a month, and that's everything. So, which is, still pretty cheap depending on the kind of income that you have coming in for yourself. But if you're boondocking, you could probably slice that number in half and be, around 400 or whatever. But when you're boondocking, you're of course going to consume, generally, it depends. You might consume more fuel, so you might have more of an expensive fuel bill versus, staying at a campground, for the entire duration of the month. Um, so so yeah, it just really depends. Um, there's just so many different situations out there, and depending on where you are, and what type of work that you're wanting to pick up. I've done a lot of studying on certain types of career fields that would kind of work um, within traveling and stuff. And I guess kind of what I figured out for myself with all of this is it really just depends on what your number is for yourself every month. I mean, the amount of income that you feel like you need to earn, to live this lifestyle. And that number is gonna vary between person to person. There are people that do this for $20 a day or whatever, and there's people that spend a lot more money. So a lot of it just kind of comes down to it just comes down to a lot of things. Like is this something that you want to do for like the next 5 years, or is this something you want to do for the next 2 years? I was watching a video by Technomadia on their channel, and they had interviewed a bunch of other full time RVers, and one of the common threads that I found after watching some of those interviews was that a lot of these people, when they first started out, they said that they were going to do this for like a couple of years or whatever, or maybe a year, and then they were going to be done. That was their original thinking before they went into it. And then they realized that a year or two into it that this is something that they wanted to continue doing. They didn't want to go back to the 40-year plan or whatever, and work a 9 to 5 and for 40 years. They didn't want to do that. So because they realized that, and this is one of the things that I'm realizing right now, is that when you get into this lifestyle, and you start to figure things out, you realize that it's like you really don't need a lot of things to live. I mean, and of course the more things that you need or want, well, probably more than want, that's just gonna cause you to have to earn more income to pay for those luxuries. There's a lot of luxuries that's the one thing that I've realized so far, living in my camper, is that it's like everything, like bigger than what I currently have. I mean, whether we're talking a big Class A motorhome or a sticks and bricks house, or a condo or whatever, anything bigger than what I have is nothing more than just luxury and comfort. It isn't that those things are better than what I have right now. It's just that there's just more luxury and more comfort. So, that's kind of interesting to kind of think about, when you that I think about when I get out here. So, in a lot of those interviews that I did watch, a lot of those folks seem to be doing, they had some type of an online presence, some type of an online business that they were doing. So, I mean, ultimately, I think that's probably the best case scenario, you know, or maybe I shouldn't say best case, but maybe the most convenient, because you can, with nothing more than a strong internet connection, you can do your business and create and make your income that way, and versus having to be stationary at a job or a business or whatever. So I think that learning how to create income online versus, doing like I'm doing right now, YouTube videos, blogging, or coming up with some type of a product or service that you could do mobily on the road and generate income with it. I think that really should be the focus. And the other thing too is like, there's a passive income generating investments, and the one that comes to my mind is real estate, so that could be maybe owning, some rental properties that would throw off, anywhere from $800 to $1,000 a month, because if you think about it, this lifestyle, and this is the really cool part I think about this, is that it's like, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, if you had $1,000 of passive income coming in every month, man, I mean, it's like you could be set, forever. I mean, and that number I'm throwing out there is well, yeah, I mean, a single person, definitely. I have also heard of couples that live on the road on $1,000 a month, and like, they're living great, on that much money, and they're like they're happy and content, and they've told themselves that they could live on that number for the rest of their lives, and they would be completely happy, So it doesn't really take a lot of financial resources, to get to these big numbers. It's not like you're trying to make, $10,000 a month, or whatever. I mean, you could. I mean, I guess if you are, that would be cool. But if that's, if you're into earning and investing and being a good steward of money, if that's your thing. So, yeah. Seasonal employment, online income, these are the things that I'm looking into right now, versus settling down and getting established. I mean, I'm also looking at that too, but I like the idea of being able to take a break in the year, whether that be a month, or a couple of months of to be able to take time off and go traveling and go enjoy your your truck camper. So I think trying to create an income / employment situation that would provide that for me, that's ultimately what I'm shooting for. Ultimately would be to be able to just have like a passive income coming in through your business that you can just travel year round, or do whatever you want. Basically, I mean, that's the whole thing with this lifestyle, is it's really just not. It's being able to do what you want, when you want, wherever you want to do it. If you're if you find that if you are somewhere where you're happy, it's like, well, shit, I'll just stay here for however long I want, and then when I get tired of it, I'll just pick up and I'll just pick up camp and move on, and somewhere else, whether wherever I want to be, whether that be with family or hanging out with YouTube friends or whatever, So the sky is the limit. So yeah, I've mentioned a couple of things there. If you have some other ideas, please comment below and let's keep this discussion rolling. Take care, guys. Have an awesome day. Thank you for watching.